what would it look like if I actually scripted all of my podcast episodes? Oh, hi. Yeah, that actually isn't even the microphone I'm using for this video here today, but it's a question that I get asked all the time. New podcasters want to know, should I have a script that I'm reading off of whenever I'm recording, or should I just use a basic outline? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today, and we are going to talk about scripting versus outlining your podcast episodes. Now, I know that this is something you want me to cover and talk about because this video right here consistently is in the top 3 most watched videos on this channel. So I know that you want to know, how do you do this? How does someone who's been podcasting for a while actually script out their episodes? Do they script them out? Do they read them verbatim? Do they just put a few post-it notes around them and then they read off of those? Do they just use 3 bullet points? How does this actually work? All of these are questions that I've gotten as I have been teaching entrepreneurs how to start their podcast. So I'm going to break it down into why you should use a script, why you should use an outline, and I want you to judge for yourself which form would work best for you. So let's get right to it. Now, I want to say up front that the way that I have created podcast episodes has definitely been an evolution. I think back to the very beginning whenever I was just getting started, and I felt the need to script out all of my words because I didn't want to go off on too many tangents. I know this about myself. I like to tell stories and keep embellishing and sharing more and more. And then I would realize, oh wow, I've been talking for 45 minutes and I don't even think I've gotten to the main topic yet. So I actually want to show you right here, this is an evolution of how my behind the scenes notes for myself have changed from some of my very first episodes to what you see here today. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't do most of my planning and sitting down and actually figuring out what I'm gonna talk about electronically. I know it freaks some people out whenever I say I actually write in a notebook, either like this or I have spiral notebooks that I buy whenever they go on sale. So shout out school supply season. You know, I'm looking at you because I love it when those notebooks go on sale for like 25 cents. I snag a whole bunch of them and then I'm good to go for the year. But what I will do, this is what I'm currently doing. This is why I wanted to share this first. I will write down the main topic that I want to speak about. And then I will just kind of brain dump all the things. Like if someone has asked me a question in the community, I'll write down what that question actually is and how I would respond to them. So while I'm scripting this out, I also think of this as like the first draft of me recording the podcast, because in scripting this out by hand in a notebook, I'm saying it, right? I may not actually be saying it out loud as I'm writing it, but I am formulating words in my brain that I will eventually say. Now, does it come out verbatim exactly how I wrote it in here? Well, no, because I don't want to sound scripted. And we're going to get to this in a second, but I think it's really important to actually write out what I'm going to say because that's like my first practice. And if you're just getting started, I cannot stress enough how important practice is so important when you're just getting started because you're trying to find your voice. You're trying to see what works best for you. So I actually wanted to show you what it looks like. I did a recent video here all about podcast release forms. I did a podcast episode and I did a YouTube video and I planned it out in my notebook. So I'm going to show you what it looks like so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like for me to do this on my end. But before we get further into scripting and outlining your episodes, Did you know that we have a toolkit to help you launch your podcast? Yes, we have the Poddy Podcast Toolkit, and it has everything you need to start planning your podcast ideas, to get ready for interviews, find out what equipment and software will work best for you. Plus, we have some customizable templates for you to get your podcast planned out, create a launch strategy, and even have some graphics, emails, and social media captions to share with your audience on day one. So make sure you go to toolkit.crystalprofit.com to check it out and see if it's right for you. Okay, let's get back to the video. So now that I've shown you some examples of what I used to do back in the day, what I'm doing currently, I wanted to give you a few more ideas of how you can develop notes for your podcast. Now, I love a good sticky note. I know, I feel like they are totally underrated because people are like, that sounds so simple. It sounds too easy just to write a few bullet points on a piece of paper and then start talking. Well, it really just depends on how well you know what it is that you're talking about. Now, I've listened to podcasts that go on for hours and they give in-depth stories and detail and facts and figures and research and all the things. And I think that they probably have pages of notes. But for me and my podcast, I know the subject that I'm talking about. I know what my audience wants to hear, and I have stories to share of my clients, members of my community, or even personal stories that I just know. I know them by memory. So I could literally write on there, share about the time that you were interviewing someone and you forgot to press record on your end. Oh, please tell me this has happened to you, okay? If it hasn't, just know that it could happen one day. And don't give yourself a super hard time if this does happen, because it happens to the best of us. Just know it's a possibility. Always check to make sure that you are actually recording your podcast episode. But I wanted to share this story because I knew this story. I knew it in and out because it's my story. So I could write that easily on a Post-it note and start talking. So whenever you're trying to make the decision, should you script it all out or should you have it just as some highlights of what you want to talk about? It really does depend on the topic that you're covering. Do you know it really well? Do you have stories that you can add by memory, or do you need to add some extra notes? Or do you have research or facts and figures that you want to make sure you get just right? Because you want to share valuable information to your audience and you want to make sure that you do that in a good way. So these are some of the things to consider whenever you're trying to decide if you should script out your episode or just use an outline. So I want you to tell me in the comments below, have you already launched your podcast, or are you in the beginning stages and you're just trying to feel the waters out, trying to make a game plan for how all this podcasting stuff works, or are you just trying to improve in your processes? So tell me in the comments below whether you've launched or you're just getting started. Okay, let's get back to the video. And the last thing that I'll say about scripts versus outline is I have found that most of my students and members of my community, when they're first getting started, they want to script themselves. And I say go with whatever makes you feel more comfortable. If you have a public speaking background and you've been doing this for a long time and you feel super comfortable behind the mic, then do whatever works best for you. But if you feel like, is it overkill that I'm scripting myself? Not at all. I see this all the time, and I think that you find that scripting yourself works in the beginning, but then you start to find your voice. You start to find the things that you really want to talk about, and over time, you may not have as detailed of a script as I did in the beginning, or that I still sometimes do today. It just depends on the episode, on the topic, how well I know it, how much I want to embellish and really share some deep stories or deep thoughts that I'm super passionate about. So it does fluctuate. So give yourself some grace. If you're just getting this figured out, if you're just getting started with a podcast, then make sure that you just keep giving yourself lots of grace, because it does take time to find your voice. But that's all I have for you today. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have not already, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe below. That way you don't miss our future videos all about podcasting and running your online business. Make sure you check out these other videos right here, all about podcasting and, like I said, running your online business. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.